Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in to MMA Jam Live. We don't play them games. You don't really wanna say our names. 'Cause I'm up in the morning at the break of dawn with the fire in my eyes and my nuts in my palm. We don't lay down and die for no one. This is what we do, spitting fire for so long. We've been killing shit, damn right, we chose us. We control the fear, don't die for no one.
Hey, fight fans, welcome to WMMA Jam Live. I'm your host, Vanessa, along with Sabrina. Dina, say hello.
Hello. Okay.
So today we'll be talking, of course, about this past weekend, Red, White, and Fight Week with UFC 175 and our meet and greet. We will talk about Tough 20, and the fighters they introduced, a couple fights coming up. And later on the show, we will be joined by Rosa how do you say it, sister? You got
Acevedo?
it. Yes, Acevedo, from RSA, and then that will be at 5:45. At 6:20, we will be joined by Invicta's Michelle, the Karate Hottie Waterson. So chat is open, and Sabrina, we missed you last week. You weren't able to join us.
I know, unfortunately I wasn't. I was on the road camping. You don't get signal when you're camping.
I know you were pretty bummed that you didn't get to join in on that conversation with UFC 175 and everything.
I wanted to give my predictions, but it wouldn't have mattered because how the fight turned out anyways. But yeah, I was a little bummed.
Well, we had a lot of fun this weekend. We went to Las Vegas for the UFC Fan Expo, which was really cool. It was a lot of fun. My first night there, the only fighter I saw was Alexis Davis, and she was walking in the casino. And I just stopped her. I was like, But that was funny because that's the first fighter ever that I've ever seen, or I have no luck. Like, I'm sure you can, like, get a bajillion autographs from everybody in one casino, and me, I'm just like, oh, no, it's okay. I'm scared.
No, I seen her too, and I did the dorky, just put my hand up and waved like a true Indian, and instead of asking her for like a picture or something, I was just like, hey.
Yeah, like you guys are homies, like see each other all the time. Like, oh hey, Alexis.
Yeah. It's like the point of us being there was to like, Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? No, I was saying, like, the point of us being there was to, like, get pictures and autographs and stuff, and then sometimes I didn't even do that. I was like, oh, hey, like, if we were friends or something.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of people who passed by, and I was like, dang.
I was excited. I was excited because the first person I got to see was a random person in the casino, which was Dustin Poirier, and I like that dude, so it's cool. It starts the weekend off pretty good.
Who were you most excited? I know that we met a lot of people, but who were you most excited to meet at the Fan Expo?
Like, I actually got to meet. Wow, can you freak? I actually got to meet. I probably have to say, Joe Lozon.
Yeah, you were pretty excited when you saw he was signing. He was cool, though.
I didn't even know he was. Yeah, I love Joe Lozon. He's one of the best. He's one of my favorite fighters, and he's always super nice. I watch a lot of his videos and stuff, and it was cool to actually meet him. What about you?
Oh man,
who's the one?
Honestly, it was really hard to choose. Like, I was just so excited to meet everybody that I got to meet. even if they did walk by and we just made that eye contact, I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of like meeting them.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say Travis Brown was definitely like the coolest. Something about him, he was just so nice and like, I don't know, he was really cool. And then the one that I definitely was like, oh, I have to go stand in line was for Kat Zingano. When I saw she was there, I was like, oh yeah, definitely have to go stand in her line. Like, come on.
Yeah,
because there were some long lines for some people.
Yeah. I was excited to meet Nate Diaz too. I was a little sad I didn't get to meet Nick, which that would have been the best one to meet, Nick Diaz.
Yeah, I was when I was standing in line that first time to meet Nate, and then of course he took off, and I was like, well, I don't want to stand in line now. But I ended up meeting him the next day, I think. So that was cool.
Yeah. That's cool. It's cool. The experience was a lot better. I thought we were going to have to stand in line for much longer. I mean, there's a couple lines where, you know, like Chad Mendes' line is pretty long. I didn't go in Kane's line because his was insane. GSP's line was insane. And but I thought we were going to have to stand in line a lot longer and that we weren't going to get as many signatures, but we did. And I thought it was really cool, like, that everything was on that stage, too. They did a lot for everyone just to look at, like the weigh-in and the Q&A. And even the playing video games with some of the fighters, that was cool, too.
Yeah, I think they definitely made it something, like, really interactive. And what I really loved is that all the fighters were really nice, like, all of them. You know, even if they were just walking down, you, like, try to stop them for a picture. They were like, oh, of course, like, you take a picture, you know, as we're all like, I don't know, he's walking.
Yeah. I know I stopped a couple times. I stopped myself a couple times. I was like, they're trying to go somewhere, forget it. But until I got Carlos Condit. That was a good one to get, too.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. There was, it was cool, the little cage they had there, the little octagon, and Juliana Pena, and
Roxanne Modafferi.
Yes, Roxanne Modafferi. That was really cool, you know, because especially watching Tough and getting to, like, know those girls and see them fight along the way. It was cool seeing them, both of them there together.
Yeah.
So,
small girl. Not this big old girl or the small girl, but I was really shocked how all these girls are. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely surprised. There was some people there that I expected them to look, you know, like, obviously, not saying, like, they're not skilled or anything, but I expect them to look a lot bigger than they did. And then you, like, saw them in person, and it was like, oh, my God, they're so little. Like, not in a bad way, but, you know, like, for the most part, a lot of them were small.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
I mean, with you, you know,
like
training, did you see any... Did you see any potential opponents for you there?
I mean,
were you sizing anybody up for your next fight?
Yeah. I was sizing everybody else, but I always size everybody else. And there's no one there at that expo that was like, oh, I'm scared of that one. And that's no offense to them because I'm sure they can whoop my ass, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, they're skilled. It's not even about that, but...
Yeah, but I definitely wouldn't be scared to step in the cage with anyone, just by way of looks. And
I'm still definitely scared, but... You can go ahead, but I'll dance with you on down to the cage.
Not saying that they won't beat me up. I'm just saying that I'm going to go in there definitely thinking, like, oh, I have a chance against this little girl who skipped leg day. You know, they're, like, the same age or whatever. They're not little girls. I mean, that's the wrong words to use. You see what I'm trying to say?
I gotcha. Well, UFC 175. I'm sure everybody watched it, right? Well, oh.
Well, you can. Yeah, you can. If it's if it's on Instagram.
Oh, that's true.
That's that's all. I've seen it.
Okay, well, first of all, being there was a pretty cool experience, different from what I thought it was going to be, but it was really cool. When Rhonda came out, I was on the other side, so I didn't get to see her walk out, but it was still exciting, like the music coming on and the lights and everybody cheering for her. It was like, that's when I started really getting like excited, like, oh man. And then I almost missed the fight because it happened in 16 seconds. And even though I, had a pretty good idea that it wasn't going to go all the rounds, I definitely didn't think it was going to end that quick. Rhonda flipped her around, started punching her in the face. She was out. What did you think about that? Ronda Rousey taking that one in 16 seconds.
Oh, man, I don't even know what to think about that, honestly. It was good. It's good for Rhonda. She did throw a really hard right, and she followed up with a nice knee. And, like, obviously, Rhonda was the only person that we met that looked like she was a fighter. And this is no offense to anybody, but I meant, like, she had the body. She was bigger. She was a little taller. She was a little thicker. And so I know, because we've seen Alexis Davis, so I was like, okay, like the comparison in your head, you can actually see it instead of just seeing it on TV. And, yeah, I know that right hand really hurt. Rhonda looks like she can throw pretty good. And it was beautiful. It hit perfectly. I thought that there was a couple of exchanges in the beginning that before those that they threw that would have been interesting. But she got her with a nice right, then the knee, and then once Rhonda gets a hold of you, everyone knows that you're going to go on the ground. And she was already hurt before she went to the ground, and I'm sure that flip only just made it a little more harder for her to focus and stuff. And then keep it was like 16 times she got hit real quick in those 16 seconds, which was really more like from when that right hand hit to like 5 seconds. I thought it was great though. I mean, for Rhonda.
Yeah, definitely. It started off good with the exchange, Alexis, she threw in some hits on Rhonda. And, like they went back and forth, but it didn't surprise me especially once you really got to see how Rhonda had her, like, her hook in her and just, like, going at it, hitting her like that. She had her in a pretty tight squeeze, and she definitely was hurt before she took that flip. So it was, like I said, all Ronda Rousey, I mean, her fights have been pretty amazing, She's definitely went in there and put on a show and worked hard. And before I was talking about this, she was saying this is what she felt in camp. All her other camps didn't go smoothly, and this one it went the best ever. She felt her greatest. So, to know she did so well in those other fights and didn't feel as great, I knew that it was going to be a really good fight. But that's amazing. I believe it was the second fastest for a title fight. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think she was telling us that was, number one was 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was like Orlovsky, she was saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing for her.
I mean, I don't think it was a good fight just because it was so one-sided. It was a quick fight. It was a good performance around it. I just really wish we would have seen more. I know that usually her stuff doesn't go out the first round, but I just wanted to see a little bit more than that. And I really thought Alexis Davis was going to be able to give a little more than that. But like Rhonda said, people focus so much on her arm, like her arm bars and that she's the arm bar, there's arm bar nation, there's everything, but that stuff's tied down. So what she's really focusing on is that boxing, and people forget about that. I'm telling you, she has muscle. She's thick. You can tell she can throw a punch. and that it's going to hurt when it lands. So I think that it's awesome. Like, she's becoming this huge all-around fighter, because I know before I said that I thought some of her stand-up was soft, and it's getting definitely way better than what it was before.
Well, yeah, I think you made a good point. She has the armbar down. Like, she knows it. It's nothing to her anymore. So you have to improve somewhere. So she's only going to be improving on all those other things that nobody thought that she could really do, So her boxing's going to get better. I mean, she's fast already, so I don't know, it's crazy.
And she has so much confidence. All the confidence in the world.
And seriously, after meeting everybody that, has her back and is with her along these fights, like, that's even better, too. She has such a big support from her family and her fans and everything that it's so hard, like, that must be so amazing, especially to go and all the training she put into it, and then to get in there and 16 seconds you're done. And fortunately, she did cut her finger open, which looked pretty bad. At least she had a cyst, which she did. She was nice enough to share the whole story with us, with everybody at the meet and greet. And I guess it was something that
too, right?
Yeah, I know when we were with her, she hadn't really gone to a doctor or anything, so she wasn't sure. But I know she said she had that. Oh, that's crazy.
Well, no, I mean,
and like the mixture, maybe.
Huh?
I said the mixture. She had her cyst
like explode on her. That is, like, what if Alexis Davis? She threw that punch, and Alexis Davis was not able to take it. Could have Ronda have stayed up and fought with a broken hand? Like, what if? I mean, obviously it doesn't matter. She didn't do it, but it's like, man, Alexis could have had the opportunity at least to have a little bit of a more advantage if right hand didn't put her out.
Yeah, for Alexis Davis, it was just sad for her, that she didn't get a little more time in there to show herself. And I think the way it ended, where she was still fighting, the fight was already over and she was still kind of going at it. Like, to know she was that, to know she was that out of it after getting knocked out. Like, I'm sure she definitely, you just saw the confusion in her face, like, kind of like, no way, like, what? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So that's a bummer, I'm sure, for her.
Yeah, it is. She has a lot of experience. She's fought a lot of good people. She's beaten a lot of good people. So that's crazy. I mean, that you look at it like that. Like, okay, is Ronda really just that good then? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like we said, she's only getting better in all other aspects of mixed martial arts. And I mean, 16 seconds. Who in the UFC right now do you see beating Ronda Rousey?
In the UFC? I don't really know that there is anyone in the UFC right now that could beat Ronda Rousey. I really don't. I mean, well, it's people who have already fought her are going to fight her again, because you're just going to have Sarah Kaufman. But Sarah Kaufman's fight wasn't that long, and I love Sarah Kaufman, but she didn't really put up a show either. You have Kat Zingano who's next in line, which, okay, let's see that. I'm down for that. If Ronda wants that, or she's down for that, I mean, why not? She was supposed to fight her anyways. She just got hurt. I would like to think she was like a warm-up fight, but whatever. You want to go, you want to go. But I mean, no one knows. I don't see that, because I don't feel like they're putting up enough fights anyways for these girls. I think that they need to start fighting all each other. Like I haven't seen Pennington in a while. When is Juliana Pena going to come back? What about Amanda Nunes, Jermaine and Deronda May? There's a lot of people that are in the 135 that I think they need to start fighting each other to keep their skill up, and then maybe it's one of those girls. But I have yet to see anyone who I think that's in the UFC right now that could beat Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, yeah, it would be a great fight to see her and Kat Zingano because, I mean, look at the people that we've had to watch Ronda fight, and it's kind of like, you know, they didn't, you know, I guess I just didn't really expect to see them going up against her, but then it's like, you know, these are the ones on top, and, you know, them versus her, it's not really, you know, I don't know, like, is there anybody outside of the UFC that you would like to see come in and try and take on Ronda? I mean, my thing is with TAF 20 coming up, they're barely introducing that division in, and they already have 2 fights going on before it even airs, even though they're supposed to be crowning a champion. So if we have so many women fighters in the bantamweight division, how come more fights aren't being put out there? You know, how come it's kind of that, like, a hold? You know, I know that we got a couple of fights coming up, but even then, you know, it's Shayna Baszler and Bethe Correia and Jessamine Duke.
If Baszler wins, is she going to fight? If Baszler wins and Duke win, are they going to fight each other to see who fights Ronda? I don't think that they'll do it. So they don't really count in a sense, you know, like they do and then they don't. Because will they fight her? They might, but they've already said that they're going to lose. So why am I going to want to watch and pay for a fight with girls they don't even have the confidence to beat her? So you take a couple girls out of the equation already. But I haven't seen, I don't know if these girls are hurt or they're just waiting for, they want to fight. They don't like who they're being presented with and they're trying to hold out for a better name or whatever. I don't know what the situation is, but I don't really see, I haven't seen a couple of these girls for a while. Even Zingano, I mean, her fight with Miesha Tate, I didn't really see anything too special about it where I thought like, oh, she's going to be the one to do it, to beat Ronda.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'd be a good fight because it's someone different, and she does have skill, and she is a good fighter. But I still, even from her, I didn't really see anything that was going to indicate that she was going to smash Ronda or whatever. But outside, I would love to see Cyborg, of course, make 135. I think that's the fight that everybody wants to see. I think that it's size and power against size and power and aggressiveness from both. And I think that's the fight you're going to get the most out of. I don't really want to see her fight Gina Carano because I just don't feel like Gina Carano is up to a lot of the girls in the 135s.
Yeah,
right
that's
now,
what I was going to
she's been out so long. And Holly Holm, maybe, but she's coming off an injury. She hasn't even signed, or she's kind of making it a little hard for herself to sign right now. But I think a good matchup, if the person can make 135, it would be Ronda Rousey versus Marloes Coenen. I think that's a really good fight. Coenen, she's been a champ. She went into the second round, maybe even the third round with Cyborg. She's great on the ground. And she's tough as nails. Like, she'll take some hits, and she has a chin, kind of, you know. So I think that'd be a very different and interesting fight to see.
Yeah, I think of everybody. Cyborg is going to be the one to make it a little harder. Man. Like, just the thought of that fight, like, I picture their two faces on, like, a poster, and I get excited, like, oh, I can't wait. You know, like, it's already being put on display and stuff. I'm all excited. But especially after this fight, I just, think that the skill that Ronda has, her mindset, you know, the great support she has from the UFC and her fans, it's kind of hard to bring her down from that. And she's obviously proven just how skilled she is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what would be a good matchup until they do bring in Cyborg. And I know everyone's tired of hearing of the fight and everyone, but I think it is what it is. You know, if you want to see Ronda Rousey actually go up against somebody who is at her level, it's going to have to be Cyborg. Because even with all these great fighters that are in there right now, yeah, they're great. We've seen them do some great things, but when they've gotten in there with Ronda, you didn't really see anything. And it was always surprising. Yeah. You know, I always expected to see a little more out of all of them, and that wasn't really the case.
I mean, Ronda's a beast, and Pat's a beast, and I want to see two beasts fight, you know? I don't want to just, you know, see this girl fed to the lion, because, damn, like, that's what it seems like right now, that she's just getting, you know, the lion's being fed, but I want to see a lion go against a lion. And I think that Cyborg's a lion, and I think that Ronda's a lion. And I was the most excited person for Cyborg versus Chrono. But this fight makes me more excited than that fight ever could. Because it's not even just can Cyborg beat Rousey. It's can Rousey beat Cyborg too. You know? She's undefeated in her one loss. But nobody's going to get. You want to talk about if she did her? She got caught once. So what? Who cares? We still want to see that fight. And if she comes back clean before, after, during, whatever, she figured it out. Like, I'm not saying she does it. And how do you know she still does it? Maybe she learned her lesson. You know, people get second chances.
I know.
And no matter what, it doesn't matter as long as she comes back clean. So a clean Cyborg versus an always clean Ronda Rousey. That's a match for the ages.
Yeah, I look forward to that one. Of course, Cyborg has her fight coming up, and Rousey is currently on a medical suspension, I believe, until January 2nd, 2015. I know she was looking forward to maybe fighting on the New Year's card, and at the fight, Joe Rogan, I guess, was told to ask her if she would fight at UFC 176. And, you know, of course, 16 seconds in there is nothing, but she was hurt, so she won't be doing that either. Davis, too, she got a little... Huh?
Oh,
no, I thought you were saying something.
I
know Davis, too, got a little suspension.
I was going to say one more thing about Rousey and Cyborg is the trash talk. Because it's already there. They've already said a lot of shit to each other. And then now when you're like, okay, it's time to fight, we're going to fight, the trash talk is going to be amazing. There's going to be people that actually don't like it. See, what I like about MMA, what I don't like about MMA sometimes is it's like, oh, like, okay, I get it. It's a sport. It's fun. But, like, I like that whole, I don't like you, and I want to beat you up. Not like we're in a competition, and we're going to see who can outlast the other one. You know, I don't like that. I don't like you, buddy. Even if it's just for the fight afterwards, we're friends, you know, because, you know, why do you want to beat up someone you like? Don't. I like that they don't like each other, and that makes me even more excited for this fight. Like, it's going to, if it ever happens.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more emotions put into that fight, definitely. A lot of, I'm sure, some added weight on both sides for that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know. But, okay, so let's see. We did get to meet Ronda. So I know everybody's like, how's Ronda? Like, how was it meeting her? All this stuff. And
how was it meeting her?
Oh, man. Like, first walking in and just seeing her right there, like, sitting on the table or whatever, I was like, that's when it was real. You know, like, it wasn't real until she was right there in front of me. And it was really an amazing experience. Her family was there eating dinner, and Zion's was there and taking pictures and all kinds of stuff. She was so nice. Like, that's the thing, you know, that was her big thing with Tough, that they made her look like a villain. And, you know, you see when she goes out there, she has that face like, I don't like you, you know, like she comes off differently, and she's, you know, everybody puts her out there in a different light. I'm sure, you know, you could talk to her for an hour and you're going to pick out the stuff where she's like, that girl can't beat me, or, you know, like you're not going to, because that's what everyone sees Rhonda as. And reality is she was so cool. She was so nice. I think the crazy thing is like you can actually see yourself hanging out with somebody like her.
Yeah, that was very surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, my throat got dry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It was really cool seeing her mom, too. I was excited to meet her mom.
Her mom's nice. Her mom makes things happen. So give me some good. She's really nice.
Yeah, she definitely was really nice. She was so, like, welcoming and like, oh, hey, guys, like, come in. You know, like, you just wanted to hug her a little extra longer because she was so cute. Like, everybody was really nice then. What were you thinking when we walked in and, you know, Rhonda was right there?
You know what? I'm being completely honest. I don't think that people are going to care about what I was thinking or like what I was thinking, but it really bothered me right away that she was wearing sweats. But that's just because I don't wear sweats. I'm sorry, people. I don't.
It was that your first thought when you saw her?
Yeah, like, oh, she's in sweats. I don't want to hang out with her. I think I'm weird. You know,
she is.
I
doesn't even
like
when
I
wear them.
Like, I don't want to, and I just don't like them. But I get it. She was tired. From what I hear, they're super comfortable. It's just, for me, that's the first thing that popped in my head. Like, oh, shit, she's wearing sweats.
You would.
But besides that, I mean, yeah, right away, everybody was very welcoming. Her personality for some reason was different than what I thought it was going to be. Not that I thought she had a bad personality, but I didn't think she was going to be so easygoing and open with everybody. And she was. She really, she really took time out of what she was doing, like literally eating with her family, to hang out with a few strangers for about a good 45 minutes and answer all questions, sign all things, take all the pictures anybody wanted, any which way they wanted, except for her with her hurt hand. And I thought that was really cool. It really changed a little bit the way that I look at her in that sense. Not that I ever looked at her in a super bad way or anything. It's just, it was really cool. She was actually really cool.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. She was so talkative. She treated everybody like she knew them. You know, it was never awkward or anything. It was like, oh, hey, you know, what's up? Like, how are you doing today? And, like, gave hugs and signed autographs and took pictures, you know, even with her injured hand. And that thing looked pretty bad, you know, and she's there with a big bag of ice, just chilling in her sweats, talking to everybody, taking pictures. It was really cool of her. I did that for you.
Thanks. Because I just got a flashback of Rhonda not being her sweats.
I think what was really cool is the people who got to meet her through the eBay auction, and all that went to charity, I believe, St. John's Baptist, I'm pretty sure. And all those people, you know, they paid money for that stuff. It was good stuff, too. There was shin guards, gloves, hand wraps, all signed by her. And they got to meet her. Well, you know, they got to hang out.
It was really cool of those girls to give those shin pads back to do it for charity.
Yeah. When she was telling Rhonda, even Rhonda was like, what? No, like, what are you talking about? They're yours. Like, it's okay. But they were insistent. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that they had said that no one has ever done that, or those girls were the first ones, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that's just a little more money to go towards the charity, which, I mentioned on the last show, Ronda Rousey does do a lot of. She's always, anything she uses, she signs it and sends it out to raise some money, and she does the free rice program. So, yeah, it was cool hearing her story about her hand and how she was joking around and talking about the fights and stuff. She was really chill. Like, she wasn't all across the room. She was right there in the middle of everybody. So.
Yeah.
And we got drinks, so that was cool.
Huh?
No. I said, and we got some drinks, so that was cool.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, lady from, how do you say that?
Zion? Amy?
Yeah. Thank you, Amy. It was delicious.
Yes.
I really wanted to order some food, but I didn't because I'm a fat kid at heart. But
and of course, our luck, we would, when they brought the menus, we'd be like, oh, dang, we get some food too. We would have ordered food, and then they're like, all right, well, when you
I
leave?
would have to go. I would have.
That's funny.
No, but it was really cool.
Yeah, that whole weekend was really good. Yeah,
the expo was really cool. If you haven't seen it, if you're really into MMA and you really like standing in line for a little bit and meeting fighters, they're all really nice. And you get some good deals there, too, like with the shirts and stuff. But I would definitely recommend it. It was really a cool experience.
Definitely. So, another fight Sunday, Tough 19 finale. So, what was it? Sarah Morris versus Alexis.
Haven.
Oh, did you figure out how to say it?
Ooh, no.
Oh. I thought you were saying it right now. So,
nope.
Sarah Morris ended up taking the win in that fight. I'm not going to lie. Huh?
Huh? Are you talking about, like, the Alexis Dufries or whatever?
Dufries and Sarah Morris. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
get a chance to look at it?
A little bit, but not really. I heard it was, like, a controversial decision, though. But, I mean, 8 pounds overweight for Alexis. I don't know about all that. Who goes and makes her UFC debut and is 8 pounds overweight? Technically, she was pretty much fighting a girl in a totally different weight class. So, I mean, it's kind of crappy, I think. But, I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, the fight was kind of like whatever fight.
Yeah, I hate when you hear that somebody came in overweight, especially so overweight. It's not just a couple pounds over the weight that they let you, like, that's crazy. It makes it kind of an unfair fight. But
yeah, that's a lot to 8 pounds.
So, I don't know if it was, I didn't really look at it. I know, all I know really is that she won. I saw the picture where she was kind of looking at her like, really? Like, she got the win, but to me, she should have gotten the win anyways, because at least she went in there the weight she was supposed to be ready to fight. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's just me. That's how I feel it should go either way. Like, you're kind of lucky that you still get to fight.
Yeah, I mean, 20% of your purse, like, that's a kick in the shin too, but just 8, especially 8 pounds. That is a lot, and people might not think it is, but when you're fighting someone, I mean, she put in the work. Sarah put in the work. She lost the weight. She did what she had to do, and I think that should come from the other person too.
Well, yeah, especially when after they get off the scale, you see them like, please give me water, something, like I'm dying here. And then that other person was just over there doing whatever they wanted. Like, these people have to come back from, like, killing themselves trying to make weight. So.
Yeah, and I didn't hear the excuse that was given for missing weight. I had looked, but I didn't find one. So, but I mean, really, when you think about it, there is no excuse.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So, congratulations,
it's rude.
Sarah, that win.
If I was Sarah, I would have been trying to knock her out even harder for being that rude.
Yeah, that's true. It is kind of rude.
Yeah.
I totally agree with Sarah. And I think, they were saying that she's going to be getting another fight, because how it was kind of, like, unfair that she went into that fight with her Alexis missing weight like that. So that's cool. At least she knows she gets another one and she'll be back there. Well, yeah, but, I think I read somewhere she's under, like, a one-fight contract type of deal.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Well, damn, you should have done a little better than that. Well, you get one fight, you got a contract. You one chance. A little in the beginning, but you get one chance, one night shine, and even you were surprised by your win. I get it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I'll just be throwing bombs. One's gonna land. It's gonna hurt. But I'm not about it.
In a couple minutes, we will be joined by Rosa Rowley. So that would be really cool. I don't know if we talked about this, but Lauren Murphy and Sarah McMahon being added to, what is it, UFC Fight Night in Maine on August 16th.
Mm-hmm.
So Lauren Murphy she was the Invicta champ, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, she was Invicta Bantamweight champ. She's coming over to the UFC, taking on Sarah McMahon. I think that's going to be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be a interesting introduction fight for Lauren Murphy. No matter what Sarah McMahon did against her, she is a good fighter and she's a good wrestler. So maybe she'll be looking to show people a little bit more this time around.
Yeah, Lauren Murphy right now is at 8-0 and Sarah McMahon at 7-1. So, it's a good matchup there. And I'm sure exciting for Lauren Murphy coming from Invicta over to the UFC, making that crossover. And Invicta's always trying to work their girls up to the top and stuff. So I'm sure that's really exciting to get that opportunity.
Oh, yeah, especially with their partnership, I think it's going to be awesome for these Invicta girls. It's going to be a little easier to get into the UFC and see what they can do.
Who else? Oh, did you hear about UFC 176 being canceled?
I did. Well, it's postponed, it just got moved.
Yeah, postponed. But then you got UFC 177 is, like, right around the corner, too. That's going to come up quick, so, like, how long are you going to postpone 176 before 177 comes along? I know they don't care. They do it every weekend.
The UFC?
I don't know.
You do what you want. You can make it 153 again for fun.
It's going to be 175.5 or
right.
That's messed up, though. Almost there.
I mean, it sucks because Aldo got hurt. So
yeah.
So, and I mean, should they have backup plans for every fighter? I don't know.
I'm sure it's a little harder when you have so many fights going on to, I guess depending on how long the injury would last the person, which I heard he's only going to be out for a little bit.
Hopefully, you never know. It's his back, if I'm right. If I'm sure, I'm pretty sure it's his back. So, your back's a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just bummed because now we don't get to see the Baszler-Correa fight in LA because I think they were saying they're moving it over to San Jose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Must have been.
Well, but, I mean, they're still going to fight.
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
Tina said something. Huh?
What'd you say?
She said, I seen on her Twitter, she said something like, oh, don't worry, she's still going to get, like, beat. It's just 4 weeks later or something like that. She's talking to her army, her Queen's Army.
Oh, yeah, I think because it's moving over to 177. All right, well, Sabrina is going to be talking with Rosa right now, so, I'm going to go ahead and ring her on in and you do your thing. Let's see. All right, and here we go.
Hello?
Hello, is this Rosa?
Yeah, this is Rosa.
This is Sabrina with MMA Live. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks so much for joining us today. I really look forward to learning more about you. Everyone, this is Rosa Acevedo. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Names. I know you had your first MMA fight in 2012 against Denise Miller, and you won in the first round with a guillotine choke. When did you first learn about MMA and start training?
I started maybe 6 months prior to that. I actually did it because of weight loss and I always wanted to really try it out. My brother was a boxer. He taught me how to box when I was really little. So, I mean, I guess I had this natural passion for it.
Oh, that's cool. Do you have a favorite boxer?
Muhammad Ali, of course.
Oh, of course, Muhammad Ali. Your last amateur fight was in May of 2013. This one was wow, I can't speak. This was a 1-year mark of you being in the cage. In that year, you managed to bring your MMA record to 4-2, with 2 of those wins coming by knockout and 2 by submission. How did it feel to finalize your career at amateur level as the knockdown MMA flyweight champion?
It was kind of nice. I think that was a good opportunity, and that was a good last amateur fight for me. I worked my butt off for that fight, I will say that. I did a lot of technique work, and I guess you never know with a fight what you expect, so you work on everything.
Yeah. You went pro just this year, and you already have 3 fights under your belt. Do you prefer to set your fights up back-to-back, or does it just work out that way for you?
It just happens to work out that way for me. Right now I'm actually going to take a break from it and get my body back on track because of those weight cuts. They were so drastic.
Oh, well, how much were you cutting? Well, those fights were smaller weight, right?
Actually, the first one was at 115. The second was at 120, and then this one was at 105. So the 105 one kind of left me a little weaker than usual, I would say. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Has there been a lot of difference between fighting professionally and amateur?
Yes, absolutely. The training process is so much more intense, I guess I would say. I come every single day now. It's more like a second job, I guess I would see it. It's your career. If you really want to do it, you train every single day. You train hard. You work on the things that you really need to work on. Whereas amateur, you do it more for fun, more for experience. It's not really on your record technically, but yeah, I would say it's there's a huge difference, especially in the training process and the importance of the fight.
So what did you have to do to lose your weight? Did you eat better? Did you just cut the weight for your 105?
I definitely ate a lot better. I trained a lot harder. Pretty much my whole day would consist of, waking up, training. I have a job, so I'm a massage therapist, so I would go to work, come home and train again. And throughout the day, you know, the diet process is pretty hard because I would have to eat every 2 hours, if not every hour, you know, portion size. So my diet definitely, absolutely changed. My water intake, you know, the way that I trained, the way that I even slept changed. I had to sleep more. I had to make sure that I got X amount of hours of sleep, which is very different for me as well.
That makes sense. You recently got signed to RSA. What was it like when you first got invited to RSA, and what has your experience been like there so far?
RSA is one of the best companies that I've ever fought for. They really take care of you. They make sure that your paperwork's done. They make sure that they treat you right. Everybody there, they're just good people. They're just really good to actually work with. They make it kind of fun just because they get to know you on a personal level. You know, they actually would take the time to pick you up and drive you from and to the airport. I actually got to meet Ed Suarez and talk to him a little bit, and he's a pretty cool guy.
That's cool. He's nice. I seen him at the expo this weekend.
What was that?
I said I seen him at the expo this weekend. He was really nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I wish I was your best friend.
Oh, dang. It says your last fight was against Kiera. I don't know how to say her last name though.
Batara, I think it is.
Batara?
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing her background as far as her training with 10th Planet and Eddie Bravo, did that put a little pressure on you to up your game for that fight?
Absolutely. When you hear the name Eddie Bravo, you get freaked out, especially if you're going to fight or roll against one of his fighters. It made me up my game. I had to definitely change my workout routine, my training, the way that I trained, who I trained with, the type of people, the type of fighters. It was just a completely different, thing for me because I'm a stand-up fighter, It was kind of nice to actually go down to her level and or up to her level, I would like to say, and fight her fight. And, the win, it came through, honestly, me pushing myself, giving it my all. She's a damn good fighter, and, I guess, I wanted it so bad that I knew how hard I had to work for it.
Was there anything that surprised you, maybe she wasn't as strong or her guard was easier than you thought it was going to be?
No, I thought it was going to be easier than it was, and I didn't think she was going to strike as hard as she did strike. So what surprised me was she was a lot stronger because, I felt a lot weaker at that weight. That was the first time I had ever cut to 105. So.
Yeah, that's probably a big thing too. With the women's bantamweight and strawweight division joining the UFC, is there any interest in changing weight classes in hopes of an opportunity joining the UFC?
Maybe. I would absolutely never go up to 135 just because I'm 5'2" and, not a very big, my frame's not big at all. But, for now I'm just going to train and I'm just going to see where it takes me. I do have a busy life. I have a job, but I wouldn't mind setting that aside by any means to actually, pursue my, passion in fighting.
Yeah. Do you feel more comfortable at a certain weight class? Because the 115 division is that a comfortable weight for you, or do you just 105?
I think I was just comfortable at 115 because it was a better weight for me to reach. Ideally, I think I should be a 105 simply because of my size. I think the next time that I do fight, it's probably going to be at 105. It's just going to be cut a little bit healthier. And, I'm going to give myself some time to cut that weight and, actually train for that fight.
You mentioned before that fighting brings out the best and the worst of you. What do you mean by that?
I mentioned what?
Oh, that fighting brings out the best and the worst of you.
I think that with fighting, you have to really show self-control. I guess some people lose their cool is what I'd like to say. And, they have a temper on them. I try not to take my fight so personal because, of course, women are a lot different than men. They take everything personal. Yeah. Their emotions get caught up, And I always tell people it's they made that interview with me where she's like, it's a double-ended sword. where you can't let yourself get caught up and, you know, your emotions get caught up. So, I mean, by the worst, I mean, I don't want to get angry and, like, you know, throw a fight pretty much just because I got angry and let it get to me. Because, you know, as humans, as people, as women, we tend to get, you know, really angry.
Yeah, emotional. I have a question from one of our chat cheerleaders that we like to ask everybody. Neil would like to know who you would think would win between a gorilla and a crocodile.
A girl and a crocodile?
Yeah.
Oh, the girl.
Gorilla? Oh, the gorilla.
Oh, the gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla.
I'm gonna say the gorilla.
Still the gorilla.
Yeah, definitely the gorilla.
I know you said you want to take a break, but do you have like a time frame when you want to come back? Is there anyone that you want to fight?
You know, right now, I honestly let the fights come to me simply because I like to train for the fighters that they give me. I like to keep my options open. But right now I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on cutting my weight better, being healthier, making it more of a lifestyle than, you know, a weight cut. And I think a lot of fighters have it down to a science, and I think I'm starting to get it down to a science to where, you know, now I do protein and I do, you know, my meals, and I have set times for certain things. I sleep at certain times of the day. I get things done, and, you know, the way that I train, the way that I help others train. So I think it's a process that I'm in.
That's cool. Before I let you go, can you just let our listeners know where they can find you on Twitter or Facebook, or is there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Sure. You can find me at WMMA at Twitter, and then on Facebook you can find me at Rosa Acevedo. My shout-outs are for my family, of course my fans here in Scottsbluff, because, you know, the people that get you out there are the small town, you know, fights that get your name out. My coaches, Ian and Laz and Jeremiah, and of course Jason. Jason has helped me get through, you know, a lot, and he's helped me out with getting a lot of fights. Just all the people that have always had my back, you know.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and hope that everything goes good for you, your weight cut, or learning your weight cuts and stuff. And hope you can be able to keep us updated on your upcoming fights.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thanks again. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. That was Rosa Acevedo joining us. She's an Atomweight at RFA. Vanessa, I'm not good with these interview things. I'm getting you to start taking them over.
Oh my goodness. You just have to relax and, you know, like, just let it flow. I mean, reality is this is your second one.
That's true.
So you know, got a lot of questions in there, and you know, learned a little about her. And I didn't even know that she went from, 115 to 120 to 105. Going from 120 to 105, that has to be crazy hard.
Especially in the beginning, because, you don't really know all the tricks like everybody else does, and you don't have all, the resources as some of these other people do sometimes. Not saying she doesn't, but, like to learn your weight cut and to make a weight cut like that.
If she's talking about her last three fights, all those fights were within a couple months of each other. Like, I believe she fought in March, and then like May and July or something like that. They were really back to back within a couple of months. So there's no way I would be able to drop from 120 to 105 in a couple of months and be healthy enough to get in there and fight. That's insane.
Yeah. That's cool, though. I mean, that takes some, some obvious will and determination, because, I mean, I can't even lose 3 pounds that I want to lose now.
But you're juicing, you're good.
Yeah, try.
I've seen those muscles in your picture with Rhonda.
Don't look, people, don't look. Too much muscle for you guys. Not just me, her too.
That's so funny.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I don't think you are.
I'm not.
So, I know. You're going to tweet out the picture just so everybody can see. I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
I keep forgetting what I was going to say. Oh, do you notice recently that Shannon Knapp from Invicta has been kind of giving out hints that she's going to be making an announcement soon?
Yeah. Hope. Well, did they already announce the next Invicta? Isn't that the one that Cyborg's going to fight on?
It's supposed to be Invicta 8, I believe, and they announced for sure Cyborg and India Gomes will be on there. But yeah, they haven't announced when it will be and who else will be fighting, anything like that.
That's exciting. I mean, I know that they're usually putting on their shows, and if I'm correct, it's Kansas. But it'd be cool to get some Invicta in some different areas. Maybe open it up to more people, female-wise.
I think it's exciting. I can't wait for her to make that announcement. I hope it's going to be sooner than later as far as the fights itself. And then, they signed with... I'm sorry?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
You were going to say that they signed the whole UFC thing, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. What I was going to say was, I wonder if that means that the UFC is going to be putting any money into this production-wise so that, because the stuff, they're obviously going to want the things on their channel or whatever, their Fight Pass, to be of high quality. So I wonder if we're going to even see cool stuff like that, too.
That's pretty interesting, actually. It's going to be exciting to see just how much the UFC does, maybe get involved.
I know it's not like they didn't buy them, and it's not like that, but it's still going to be on, it's still their product now, in a way.
Oh, that's interesting.
In a way, in its own sneaky way.
Yeah.
Cool. Because then maybe these girls will get paid a little more, too.
Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that would make sense. I'm sure it's going to bring a lot more money to Invicta as well, so.
Hopefully it just looks awesome. I mean, there's a lot of good girls that are signed to Invicta, so. And I know that I've recently been seeing a lot of girls tweeting out to Invicta that they want to fight. So hopefully it's their announcement, so they finally put a card together, and it's a good one.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely a lot of people trying to, push for some fighters, which, I'm sure it's really cool because it's Invicta, for the women, and that's you're kind of like your stepping stone. You get in there with somebody as great as Shannon who's taking care of you and, just helping you build yourself up, and there's only one other place to go after Invicta, right?
Pretty much. There's a couple other places, but you already got your foot in the door. Why you want to go somewhere else? And I really hope that it opens up. I don't know if Invicta has for some reason, it's my mind blank. If they have a 125 pound division, but I really hope that opens up. That if there is, it kind of opens up for the 125 division in the UFC, because I think that's going to be a really good division.
Did we talk about this? I don't know, how the UFC announced a second strawweight match?
You said that there's two now, but you didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, probably because, I'm not really going to be able to say her last name. But I know Julia Lima and Joanna Judge. You want to try?
Nope. Not at all.
You know, and it's not that because I don't want to try. I just don't want to completely that badly butcher it. And they're like, "Really? What'd you call me?" You know. But Joanna, she has 27 wins, 2 losses.
Yes.
27
That's
wins.
A lot of wins.
That's a lot of fights already. That's crazy.
That's a lot of experience. Yeah.
Especially
I'm
that
excited for
ratio. You know, 2 losses compared to 27 wins.
Yeah. And who knows when those losses were? Were they in the beginning? Were they good losses anyways? So, I mean, she could be even undefeated. I mean, she's not on paper, but like in our hearts.
Oh, wait. Maybe I'm not looking at the right thing. Maybe it's her AMI record or something, because I look on here, it's 6-0.
Oh, so you tricked me.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. 27, that's a lot of fights. No, okay, she is 6-0. 2 knockouts, 1 submission, 3 decisions against Juliana Lima, who is 6 wins, 1 loss. And her 6 wins are 2 knockouts, 4 decisions, 1 loss due to a decision. There we go. See, that's a little better. I'm not even sure where that one came from, but
where do you get your information from?
It's probably just that I wrote an extra number in there, you know?
I think you did.
But that one is going to be on UFC on Fox 12, July 26th in San Jose. Juliana Lima was another one. She's from Brazil, 6-1. She was supposed to be on Tough too, but they decided not to put her on because of the language barrier.
Like she can't speak English?
I believe, yeah.
So it's like sometimes you can't understand a lot of those fighters anyway. Just put what they're saying on the bottom.
Right? That's true. I don't see what's wrong with doing it like that. Because it's not like you're just talking. I mean, I'll say maybe because the coaches and the people they bring in may not be able to talk to them.
Well, I mean, I guess. So why'd you let her try out then?
Yeah, that's true.
If she removed it, that means she made it. Like you know, like get her an interpreter or whatever. But then it's funny because then she makes it in right away. So like, why does it matter? Hey, if it makes me in, I won't speak English either.
That's the thing that's crazy, you know. Like she got to skip through Tough too, and she already has a fight coming up this month. You know, like before the other girls even get theirs going. So it's the second strawweight match that the UFC has announced before Tough 20 begins.
I mean, it's cool for her, but I mean, still like we said last time, I wouldn't want for them to be on there before me, especially because I'm going through this whole thing. But maybe they just need that. Maybe they feel they need that more experience. You know, they need a little more experience with these girls in the house, and they're going to give it to them this way. Because it doesn't matter who fights first. When those girls, you know, all those girls have the potential to make it into the UFC. I'm not sure if they're all going to be in there no matter what, or what then, you know. But they got to fight those girls, and those girls are good. So, I mean, it could be a good thing you're fighting someone that's, you know, more on your level in the beginning, getting your feet wet, because when you go in there and, you know, later down the road, it's going to be some girls who have a lot of fights under their belt, a lot of, you know, experience and skill. So maybe they're just building them up that way a little bit. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I know what you're saying. Well, I think there's one girl who made it into Tough who is 1-0.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought you had to have 2 pro fights to even try out. So
I don't know. I know there was somebody else who had mentioned too, like, oh, I thought you had to have like this many wins or they're like, I could try it out if that was the case, type of thing.
Well, yeah, because I've always thought that was a requirement anyways, is where you needed so many professional fights first. Well, not always because, obviously, but,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's their show. They can do whatever they want. They can say that and they'd be like, well, but we want that chick on there, and do whatever they want. But I always thought that you had to have a couple professional wins under your belt first.
I mean, you would think that would make sense.
Well, yeah, you want to throw me in there with, what, Tisha Torres is if I'm correct, Tisha Torres is the Invicta champ. So you're going to throw, I don't have professional fights. You're going to throw me in there with her? I wouldn't do that.
I mean, there's somebody, let's see, Lisa Ellis, 15-8, going up against maybe that Angela Hill 1-0 or.
I mean, that's cool.
I mean, yeah, for them, that's cool. They obviously tried out, I guess, and made it.
Yeah.
So they had to have been pretty good to go up against maybe some of those other women who did have more fights and wins under their belt, and, they made it in there. So, hey, it's crazy to think.
Maybe they see something in her. Maybe they need an underdog. I don't know. I mean, that's cool because, anybody can beat anyone on any given day. So, 1-0, 14-3, it doesn't matter. But, that girl knows she's going in there with some very experienced.
Roger in the chat room said that he thinks they kills Muay Thai fights as experience.
Oh, okay. So she would have a decent Muay Thai record then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's cool because, experience. But, fighting Muay Thai, fighting MMA is completely different. And, it helps, obviously, a lot knowing being good at one art. But I don't know. That's the thing is, this girl's a Muay Thai fighter, cool. But I thought that this season was experienced, veterans. But, hey, maybe she can do it. Maybe Angela Hill's going to be the one to win the whole thing. You never know. Maybe her Muay Thai is just that good to where she...
Right?
Enough. It's enough for right now to get her to where she needs to be.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, either way, I'm excited. I'm
excited for this season of The Ultimate Fighter. There's some big names in here. There's some good fighters, some good potential fighters too. And I think it's going to be fun. And this is all girls, right? There hasn't been all girls, because last time, wasn't it, with half boys, half girls?
Yeah.
When there was girls? This is all girls, a little more cattiness. And the cool thing about a lot of girls is, they really don't care, and they're just as big of assholes as guys are. So it's not worse with the mental and emotional torture that we can do to another girl, It's different.
That's what I was going to say. There's more of that kind of sneaky, all right, all right, I'll get you. And you're going to have, 16 of them in one house?
Yes. And some who already don't like each other. So, that's what it's cool about this one is there is some backstory to it. These girls have fought each other, or, they've been around each other. They kind of know who they like and don't like already, and see how much walls they put up and how hard they are or try to be.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely going to see a different side of these women, really get to know any of them for the most part, with women coming into mixed martial arts, really coming to the front of everything and being the stars. You're starting to see them come in and you're barely getting to know them, even though there are girls on there with 11 wins or 15 wins or 14 wins, you don't really know them.
Yeah.
You haven't really got to see the
hardcore fan.
Yeah, and if you're deep into
but
it,
even then, there's not you don't get that behind the scenes stuff, really, So
Exactly.
it's gonna be cool. It'll be cool. There's a lot of good names on here, a lot of good fighters. Definitely depending on the matchups. I'm pretty excited for some of these ones.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait for it to start. And we'll go throughout the names after. We're going to be joined right now by Michelle Waterson from the Invicta Atomweight champ. So give me a second, guys, while I call her on in. Sister, I will see you in a little bit. In a little bit? Don't leave me that because, can't do this. You left me, huh? All right. I'm going to call her. I'll see you soon.
You call her. This is your time to shine. I already shined.
All right.
All right. Tell her fight. Okay, tell her that she'll kick that.
I'm not.
Hello?
Hello, Michelle?
Yes?
Hey, this is Vanessa over at WMMA Jam. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you good to talk right now?
Yeah, I was wondering, I guess we're in a time change, because I thought, I missed the call, and I was like, oh, no, what's going on? I went to the grocery store to get dinner.
No.
So I'm at the grocery store right now, but if you don't mind, I don't know.
Oh, no, if you don't mind, I don't want to keep you from anything you have to do.
No, I think we should be good. I just, how long is the interview going to be? Because I can hurry up and buy, or I can stay in the grocery store someplace quiet.
I won't take up too much of your time, so it's completely your call. We can give it a couple minutes, and I can call you back, or we can just do this real quick, and you can.
If you give me 5 minutes, I will be in my car and in the quiet place.
Okay, sounds good. I'll call you.
Is that good? Okay, yeah. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll call you soon.
All right.
Okay, bye. Hello, Sabrina. Are you there?
Uh-huh.
All right. So we got 5 minutes, as you all heard. Michelle is doing some grocery shopping. Apparently, we had a little mix-up with the times, which is no problem. I don't mind waiting, I was nervous anyways. So just give me a little more time. Huh?
A lot of people know who she is, so I'd be nervous too, girl.
Well, yeah, when you saw that she was going to be on, you were like, I'm not taking that interview. And I was like, wait, what do you mean?
I would not be able to do that interview. I'm pretty sure you're trying to make me do that one, but no, it's not going to happen. She was on Fight Girls. If anyone knows who Fight Girls was, you're awesome, because I used to watch that show real late at night, and that's when and she was on that show, and that show was awesome. That show was shit.
Are there any questions you have for her that you might want me to ask?
No. I mean, no. Not really. Nothing I can think. That show was so long ago. It was like 2006. But I mean, she was on there. She was on there with one of the people that's going to be on the Ultimate Fighter. So I don't know. I was trying to remember the weight classes that they fought in. I couldn't remember. So I was just wondering if, because I know she fights 105, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was just maybe.
Yeah, 105.
If she ever, I guess maybe if she had thought of doing 115 and trying out for the Ultimate Fighter, I guess that's the only question that I would have. But no, other than that, tell her it was cool. That was a cool show.
I'm writing down your question.
We got wait a couple minutes. So I hope she's buying some spaghetti.
You're not gonna get none.
I know, that's what sucks. But just knowing that there's other people out there in the world enjoying spaghetti makes me happy.
It's almost like having a little bite.
Yeah, you know, it fills up my whole stomach. I know she had. You were a kid. Huh?
Yeah, I believe her kid's probably like about 4. I think. She's doing movies, no? Or she did a couple movies? Did she do a couple movies? Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm giving you guys the wrong information. Way to go, Samina. I tend to do that. I like to act like I'm Google, but then I gotta go Google it, and I'm not. And then you're like, right, you've seen it too. Yeah, like I know someone agreed with me. It was like, yes, he did do movies. Actually, I think you're right. Yeah. That's a different one. I didn't know. Thor, Lone Ranger. Oh, fancy. You know, like I said, it could be wrong because I keep getting Michelle Waterson, but never with her picture. There's like small part. That's cool shit. Cool. I'm happy to interview her. I'm absolutely nervous. I think it's good though. We got a lot of fans of hers who had some questions for her, so I'm going to make sure to try and get out some of those for her people listening. That's what I would do. I would just throw questions out. Like, well, this person wants to know this because I would be good at it. With fans, I got to help you out. Yeah. That's what I usually hope that her fans are gonna, or anybody's fans are gonna be like, hey, can you ask this? And I'm like, yeah, because I need more questions in case I'm all nervous. And I'm like, so what was the last thing we did? And I like go through all my questions. Yeah. All right. I think it's been about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and give her a call back. Wish me luck. Thank you. Hello? Hello, Michelle. Vanessa? Yes. Okay. I'm at the register. I'm at the register right now. Oh, okay. So if you don't mind being on the phone with me for a second while I pay. Oh, no, go for it. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oh, really? That's a long place. So what time zone are you guys in? I am Pacific Standard Time. Oh, really? Okay, so I'm 1 hour ahead then. Oh, okay. And so you were thinking 6:20 your time or 6:15? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fine. I was like, dang, I hope I didn't. I hate when I miss like interviews and stuff like that because it makes me look bad. So I was just like, gosh, how did I miss that again? Good, how are you? I apologize for interrupting. Oh, no worries. No worries. I was telling my daughter, I was like, hey, when mommy's on the phone, you have to be quiet. Huh. So I'll be checking out here shortly, and we can start. Okay. Yes. Are you gonna fight for me, monkey? Yeah. Okay. Good job. Hey. Oh, what's he looking for? Almost done. You looking for a hard bag?
Yeah, I'm looking for 8 of these.
Oh.
I'm all out of them.
Oh, it's all good. Oh, good. Are you good to go? Ready? Thank you. You too. Okay. Yes, we are, baby. We're going to wait in the car for a little bit, okay? Okay, can you sit down, please? Sit down, please, because you're going to hurt yourself. Thank you. All right. Get in the car. Wow! Are they already on air right now?
Yeah, it's okay though. I'm sure your fans do not mind.
Okay. Get in the car.
Everybody is excited.
Okay. All right, Araya.
To those of you listening in, we definitely appreciate you waiting. As I said, we had a little mix-up with time, and Michelle's just getting herself situated. So if you're listening in,
does everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Does everybody hear me talking to them?
You get to hear the behind-the-scenes Michelle. Everyday life, shopping at the grocery store.
Funny. All right, monkey, buckle up.
People too.
Can you buckle up, please? Okay. Okay, honey. All right, I think we're ready to go.
And again, I apologize for the mix-up. I appreciate you taking this time to speak with me.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, I don't want to. I know you have your daughter there waiting. I won't take up too much time. So, I mean, you're Invicta's Atomweight champ. I guess one of the things I would like to hear about is how your thoughts when you heard Invicta had signed that deal with Fight Pass and the UFC to feature the fights. What were you thinking? You know, as their champ, especially.
I mean, I think it's huge for Invicta, and you know, it's just history in the making, I think, and I'm so blessed to be a part of it. You know, it's just, I think it's gonna take the female athletes that are already signed with Invicta and whoever decides to sign with Invicta in the future and just propel them into the mainstream market, I think.
Definitely. You know, like I said, you've been doing this for quite some time. You watched women finally be welcomed into the UFC. You saw Invicta come to life, and today you're Invicta's champion. Like, how does that feel, and what has that experience been like for you?
Oh, I mean, it's surreal. You know, when I first started fighting, I did it because I wanted martial arts to be part of my life, and fighting was a new challenge for me that like forced me to step outside of my comfort zone, and you know, I thought it would be great to put on my resume, and it's just I just kind of blossomed, I think, as a person through my fighting journey, and you know, being a champion in the MMA sport was a goal of mine that I wanted to accomplish, and being able to do that through Invicta is amazing. Of course, and then also just being able to make some history here with Invicta partnering up with Fight Pass is super exciting.
Oh, definitely. I can't imagine, especially, you know, being in your shoes, being the champion. So, you know, I was talking to Sabrina, the co-host, and I was telling her Invicta is really such a great, you know, way, like a step up, you know, to get to the UFC. The UFC is so big, and Invicta's really doing what they can to help their girls get that experience and push them further, you know. So I'm sure it has to be exciting for them to join forces like that.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, I think that Invicta can definitely be a platform that is just like right along, the same platform as the UFC, and hopefully, that's what happens with Invicta, and we can kind of have this great partnership with them and ride that wave.
Definitely. Now, I know you started martial arts when you were 10 years old, but when did you decide to take it to the competitive level, or decide that you wanted, to start fighting?
Well, so once I became like a young adult, I think I was 18, 19, and my mother and I were going to Thailand to visit, and I've always been a student of the martial arts, and I thought, what better way to learn Muay Thai than to be like, the motherland of Muay Thai. So when I went out to Thailand and I started training some Muay Thai out there, it really kind of, took hold of me, and I fell in love with it. And when I came back out to the States, I actually was a ring girl for like a small MMA promotion out in Colorado. And I would watch the fights, and I'm like, man, that looks like way more fun. I asked the promoter if, he had ever had any female fighters, and he kind of looked at me like I was, full of shit. And I had kind of mentioned it to one of the fighters that was on that promotion at the time, who was Donald Cerrone, and he kind of gave me the same look, but I guess there was a fight that had fallen through on an amateur card that he knew about, a female fight, and he came to my work and was like, hey, if you're serious about fighting, get your ass in the gym and let's go, So then I started training, and I started fighting, and that's that.
Wow, that's crazy. And it's cool to hear that you, too, were a ring card girl. I know that, we got Paige Van Zandt used to be a ring card girl, and now she's in there fighting, and I think it's cool. Before you got to get in there, you got to see what it was like and experience that on the outside. So. Oh yeah,
for sure. You can't knock those girls. Those girls are hard to walk in and be in for 5 hours. But it was lots more fun punching people in the face.
Oh, right. I could imagine. What was that like for you? You said you did the ring card girl position first. So what was that like for you when you did finally get to step in that cage?
Oh, I just think it's just like a huge adrenaline surge, because martial arts has been part of my life forever, and just to be able to perform in front of a crowd of people that are there to watch and be entertained is just a huge rush, and just to kind of to test yourself and to put a goal in front of you, I think is the biggest thrill. You're basically challenging yourself to become a better person, in my eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know you haven't fought since Invicta FC5. I believe that was April of last year. I mean, are you itching to get back in there?
Oh, yeah. To say the least.
Well, Shannon's been kind of hinting around to an announcement coming up this week. Does that kind of get you excited? And are there any fighters who you're kind of hoping to go up against soon?
I've never been one to kind of scout out my opponents. I always let my coaches do that, and whatever, whoever they give me is who they give me, and then we're ready to rock and roll, and we just train. I am excited to hear the announcement, and I feel like it's like my pro debut all over again. It's been 14 months, maybe 15 months, and I could have had another baby.
No. Out of the way.
I should have, and then they would have been close in age, and that would have been done.
That's hilarious.
No, she's 3 now.
Yeah, that it must be amazing. I'm sure that flew by. How has being a mommy and a professional mixed martial artist, like how have the two come together?
I love it because I feel like martial arts and fighting has taught me so much about life, and if I can teach her life lessons through the things that I go through and like the challenges and adversities that I can face, and she can just see, like she can physically see me going through these challenges and coming up out top, then I think then I can be a great role model for her,
I think that's amazing. I mean, is she over there trying to, call you out on any fights yet? She trying to be like her mommy?
We were watching American Ninja Warrior the other day, and she saw me on TV, and there were like pictures of her and I that they had put up, and she got all excited, and she was like, "You're on TV!" And then I fell in, and she was so sad. She was like, "No, mommy, you're not supposed to fall in." I was like, "I know that. I didn't want to."
That's too cute. That's awesome. It's awesome she gets to see you doing that stuff, and she's there cheering you on already.
Yeah, she'll be a part of it all her life as long as I'm a part of it. And once I'm done fighting, I will continue to martial arts will continue to be a part of my life.
That's awesome. Now, I know she's there waiting for you. I don't want to take too much time, but I did ask some of your fans, if they had any questions they wanted to ask you. Throw it out there. I believe you hold a black belt in American Freestyle Karate. One of the fans wanted to know, oh no, I think I lost. Oh, what style of karate have you studied? And that's from KMac2468 on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, it was a real small church that I studied through, and it was American Freestyle Karate, and so it was kind of my instructor, he had a background in boxing, Kempo, and Taekwondo, and Karate, and so when he taught us, he kind of taught us like a mixture of a lot of things, and when we would compete using Taekwondo forms, Karate forms, Kempo forms, just whichever he thought fit our personalities best. So it's kind of a mixture of all those things, and then that's why it was just called American Freestyle Karate.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering too when I seen it. I imagined it being, kind of a little bit of everything. Another one, latest scoop 2012, Gemini Snow. You were a contestant on the show Fight Girls, which my co-host Sabrina wanted me to tell you that show was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Gemini would like to know how different it feels from Fighter Girls as far as your experience with kickboxing, with all-female kickboxing compared to women's mixed martial arts.
Well, I think it's kind of hard to compare the two because Fight Girls was a reality show, and so you're confined in a house with these girls, and there's kind of no escape. There's no getting away from those girls, which is not a problem. But when you're there 24/7 training with the same people, and there's cameras on you, that's just like it's just formula for added tension and added drama, and so that it kind of takes away a little bit from the actual training and the learning of the kickboxing. I loved training with Master Toddy and all those girls. It was quite an experience, but I think in that on the show I learned more about myself, about my character, and about the way I carry myself, and what I was doing wrong and what I should be doing more as a fighter. So I learned more about myself, like mentally and emotionally, I think, than I did physically as a fighter, if that makes any sense. And
definitely.
And then in the MMA world, just training out here at Jackson's, all my teammates have become my family, and I was just talking to my husband about this the other day, because, you go to the gym and you train, and you come home to your family, and I was just thinking about, my close friends, and, the majority of my close friends are my teammates, and it's crazy that it is like that, but it's like my family, and I have a few friends back at home, and my teammates, and they become your family, and, you go to the gym and you have a hard day, and they're there for you, and you have a good day, and they're there for you. You win your fight, they're there for you. You lose your fight, they're there for you. They're just like family. And so that's just the experience I have in the MMA training with my family at Jackson's.
Well, I am part of Redemption Martial Arts and their Rise Up Against Bullying campaign, and I know that you were on Bully Beatdown, if I'm right.
Yeah.
How was that being on there?
Oh, it was so much fun. I remember watching that show and being like, that is the best idea ever. And being like, I want to be on that. Girls are way bigger bullies than guys are. But when they called me, I was pretty stoked, and I was kind of nervous, to tell you the truth. I knew that I would never hear the end of it if I got cracked by a bully from my teammates, so the pressure was on.
And who would think there'd be so much pressure with you going up against, just a random person on the street who has no experience in it at all?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the exact thing. It's like, you got hit by somebody that don't know anything. That's what I was going up against. I was like, sometimes, those people are the worst because they're so unorthodox. You don't know where the punches are coming from. It's like dancing with somebody who doesn't know how to dance. It makes you look bad,
That's hilarious. Well, let's see. MMA, I believe it's Pac War, would like to know if you contemplate moving up to 115 and trying out for Tough 20.
No. I mean, there's a lot of hype behind Tough 20, and I'm very excited for all the girls. One of my teammates is actually going to be on the show, and I am super excited. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining shows, most watched shows of Tough to date. So I'm going to be tuned in. But as far as contemplating being on it, I feel like there's still some proving to do. For me, as Invicta champion, I still haven't defended my title, and I feel like in order for me to legitimize my being a champion, I have to do that.
I think that's an amazing way to think of it, and you easily, I'm sure, could have made it to the UFC. I mean, you have 11 wins on your pro record. You've obviously put your time in there, so I think it's really cool though that you're not looking to rush over there and get into that scene. Especially, I mean, you're usually fighting out 105, so to go up to 115 would be, a little more of a stretch, because that'd be you either gaining muscle or gaining weight, and I'm sure it would be a lot different.
Yeah, I just at the caliber of those girls, I think, if it's something I'm going to do, I have to consider it, and if I decide to do that, I'd have to really jump into it head on and really talk to my coaches and see what they thought about that,
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get you there. Just a couple more. MMA BJJ for Life would like to know, have you been offered a contract with the UFC? And what is your main academy right now?
No, I have not been offered a contract with the UFC. And I am Jackson Winklejohn all day.
I have a question actually from someone in the chat room. Ruben wanted to know, was the bully really trying to be mean to you on that show, on Bully Beatdown, or was that just for show?
I think she had a little attitude on her, for real. She was a little feisty one. Like, she, they kind of get the crowd to boo and stuff like that. And I remember they made the crowd boo, and she started flipping the crowd off and talking to the crowd like, whatever, F you, I'm going to F you up right after I'm done Fing her up. And I was just like, what? You going to do what to me?
Oh, no. That's going to get personal. That's hilarious. Well, I know your daughter is patiently waiting there. I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. Before I let you go, can you just let your fans know where they can find you and any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Of course, thank you guys for having me on the show, and I'd love to thank my sponsors for supporting me in this little drought of mine. Onnit.com, they have the best supplements in the world, and Americana MMA. They have created a signature T-shirt for me. If you want to go grab one, it's at AMMAgear.com. And I think the shirts are on sale right now for like $6. And then, and then if you want to follow me, I'm most active on my Instagram because I like to take pictures. So it's just Karate Hottie MMA.
All right. Well,
and it's the same with my Twitter.
I apologize for the mix-up earlier. I appreciate you taking this time, especially with your daughter waiting there. It was great talking to you. It was such an honor having you on. And I look forward to Invicta's announcement, and hopefully you'll be hearing about an upcoming fight soon as well.
Hope so. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
Definitely. I got them crossed. Don't you worry. Well, Michelle, you both have a great night. And, again, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. That was Invicta's Michelle Karate Hottie Waterson. You could find her at Karate Hottie MMA on Twitter, as well as Instagram. As you heard, she's more active on there. So check it out. Go grab yourself one of her T-shirts while they're on sale. Sabrina?
I already thought about getting one.
You're already ordering it right now. That's
thought about it. Am I? If she would have had spaghetti, then for sure I would have got her.
Oh, I forgot to answer that most important question.
The most important one too. No, just kidding. That's cool. I feel bad because she was sitting in the parking lot talking to me, but it ended up being a really great interview. And to the fans who helped me with some of those questions, thank you. You really did help me out there, and I hope you enjoyed hearing her responses. And her behind the scenes action.
I know
behind the scenes. Shopping,
you guys
grocery shopping.
See the real Michelle Waterson, being a mom, doing her grocery shopping. Yes, as I said, they are people too. So, what's going on? Anything coming up soon? I know we said that Juliana Lima fight, that strawweight fight's the 26th of this month. When was Justin and Duke supposed to fight? Do you remember?
She's supposed to fight soon too. She's starting on one of the fight nights. It's in my other notes that I don't have.
Let's see.
But I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, is it this month?
The Swanson. That's what I was thinking. I think it's this month. I want to make sure.
I think that's what Rhonda was saying. So, we're friends now, so I can say it like that.
Oh yeah, that's what the homie was telling you.
I think that's what she was saying. That, and then it was Shayna.
Oh yeah, and Marina too. She has a fight coming up soon too. So unfortunately, we didn't get to meet those ladies, they weren't there at the meet and greet. That would have been pretty awesome too. But
yeah, you know, they can still hit thunder. It was the meet and greet with Rhonda, not the full horse.
Yeah, exactly. And she wanted them to focus on their fights coming up too. So that's really cool. Oh,
yeah.
July 16th.
Even
Duke
closer than
and
we thought.
Leslie Smith. Yeah.
So next week.
Yep. So definitely next week we'll go a little further.
What's this?
Huh? Justin Duke, Leslie
maybe?
Smith. Leslie Smith,
Oh, that's
65.
right. That's right. Leslie Smith.
Yeah, Justin Duke, 3-1, one of the 4 horsewomen. Just got Rhonda in there, keeping her title, and then we got Jessamine going in. We'll get a little more into that. I don't know. I think it was we talked about some good stuff. Oh, Tough 20 real quick before we do go. They had their media day to introduce the fighters, so we'll go ahead and throw some of those out there. Is there anybody on this list, Dina, that you're excited to see in there?
There's people that I know. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people know, like Felice Herring, who was on Fight Girls with Michelle Waterson. She's on there. Rose, I'm not going to mess up her name because I think everyone does, but Junis, I like her because she got that flying armbar that one time. I think her first fight she got this flying armbar, and she does a lot of funny videos with Pat Berry on Twitter and stuff. Tisha Torres, she's a champ. Ashley Daly, she's good. Heather Jo Clark, Carla Esparza, Jessica, I don't want to say it, Penn, because, you know, like.
I think so.
That's
what I was thinking.
Is very active on Twitter.
There's
a lot of people. There's some that I don't know, and there's some that I do. There's some that I've seen fight, and so I think the one that I know the most is Felice, just from all that stuff, like Fighter Girls, and she's been around for a long time.
Felice too. I'm sure this Tough 20 is going to kill her because that girl is always on Instagram, and especially Instagram, but Twitter and stuff, posting pictures and every day, like, you know. So I'm sure she's like going to be itching for some kind of internet soon. She's going to come up with something like they do in prison, all like in the corners trying to send a Instagram picture.
Right. Sneak one out, throw it over the fence.
Right. Trying to pay one of the cameramen. Come on. It's all threatening them. That's I could only imagine what they're going to have to share after the experience. Because, you know, I don't know. It seems like the girls are more into Instagram and posting pictures, so I'm sure they're going to have a lot of things that they're going to want to share once they do have that.
Yeah. That freedom. Let's see if you know, the first one with women, it was different because there was guys and girls, and a lot of it was like, you know, hope no one hooks up, hope there's no like boy girl drama, hookup drama, whatever. This one, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them still hook up if they want to, but like, it's you know, that's not what people are going to be worried about. You know, people are going to be like, can these girls get along? Or these girls going to fight?
Is it going to be another, you know, bad girl on Tough 20? You know?
Yeah,
that's going to be the interesting part. Especially,
like
you know, they're
how much are they willing to get under each other's skin?
Yeah. It's to be a grown-ass woman having to share all that space with a whole bunch of other women.
One of them are gross, another doesn't call them out. You know, you never know. Different kind of drama, you know?
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I'm interested. We got some girls in there, Aisling Daly, 14-3, Lisa Ellis, 15-8, Jessica Penn, 11-2, Angela Mangana, 11-6. And then you got, you know, Angela Hill, 1-0, and Rose. She's actually only 2-1.
Yeah.
And
Well, Tisha Torres
Emily,
only 4-0, and sure she's the champ, the Invicta champ. So I mean,
yeah,
so it doesn't really matter too much.
That's the thing. There's different levels of actual fight,
Different ages.
experience, but yeah, different ages. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. I believe that is going to be starting when it's going to show on Wednesdays on Fox Sports 1 September 10th. So we got a couple more months, guys, but hopefully it flies by, and then all we'll talk about is that.
There you go. That's all we'll talk about.
Sister, I'm glad to have you back on the show. It was a good one. It was nice recapping fight, Red, White, and Fight Week, or the Fan Expo, and meeting with Ronda Rousey. Definitely enjoyed that, and I'm happy that, you got to experience that with me too. Got to do it together. And we are working on getting her on here. We'll try, guys.
We tried,
promises, but we're going to try. We thought a little something, but we got to wait.
Yeah.
Well,
what happens.
Before I go, I just want to thank all of our listeners, all the fans. Definitely want to thank Rosa Acevedo, Rolly, and Michelle, the Karate Hottie. I keep wanting to say Karate Hottie Mommy or something like that. Karate Hottie Waterson. It was great having you guys on. We really appreciate you taking the time. Go get that shirt, $6. Another big thanks to Zions and Armbar Nation for the meet and greet experience with Ronda Rousey. For those awesome shirts, you can go check out armbar.com/shop. Pick you out some cool shirts.
Wow.
Zions, they were awesome. To our chat cheerleaders who are always in the chat room, making it an interesting one to watch go. And make sure you tune in next week, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another WMMA Jam. We'll talk a little bit about Jessamine Duke and her upcoming fight. Sister, thanks again for being on here.
Mm-hmm. Had fun.
Appreciate it. And I think we're going to call it wrap. So we hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget, you could tune in Friday if you missed me already, and I'll be co-hosting with the amazing Izzy on MMA Jam. That starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. So, all right, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next week.